Steam Deck's really weird because it's like, obviously, I've mentioned it before. I have a Steam Deck, and so many of the games are like, yeah, this shit's playable. It's got the yellow tick. Come play it. It's got some minor text issues. Maybe the text is a bit small, but it's playable. Come play it. And you boot it, and the game's just horrible. it's just terrible. I think when I first got it, one of the first games I wanted to play was A Hat in Time, because I was like, I've always wanted to play that.
Good.
Yeah, cute little platformer. Play that on the Steam Deck, handheld. What a perfect game to try. It's all playable, apparently. It's all good. You just start it up. It's like 10 FPS, just on low settings. It's absolutely fucked.
It'll be Steam sent every game developer an email being like, "Hey, we've got the Steam Deck. When you can edit it, and when it's ready, press the OK button." And the developers all turned it on when like, "Oh, it's running," and then press the OK button, and then
Well, there's other weird ones as well, which is just one of them is Cyberpunk, where there was a list that came out this week. It was like the top 20 most played games on Steam Deck. And one of the ones towards the top of the list was Cyberpunk. And there's 3 different states for Steam Deck. It's doesn't work, basically, just straight up doesn't work. There's playable, which is, it'll work, but there's a few quirks. And there's verified, which is, this is good to go on Steam. You buy this, absolutely fine. And Cyberpunk is verified. Big green tick, good to go. And I booted it, and on first boot, it just crashed the whole system. So I was like, okay, this is a great start. But the fan was fucking roaring.
You're telling me Cyberpunk wasn't working? That's so unexpected.
I like that you hit go on Cyberpunk and then just let go of the Switch with your hands, the Steam Deck, and it just hovers like a drone because the fan is going so hard.
It's the first game that I had to pull out my phone and Google how to hard shut down a Steam Deck, because I was just like,
oh my god,
the screen turned black and the fan was getting faster and faster, and I was like, I had to stop this now. So then tried it again, booted it up, and I haven't played much Cyberpunk. I've got a save file that's just gotten past the prologue, and it was hovering around 30, a little bit lower 30, and it looked like ass. And I was like, oh yeah, you can play it, I guess. It's probably not the way you're supposed to play it, looking like this, but.
What made you think that there was any chance in hell that Cyberpunk was going to run?
Because it's verified. It's Steam themselves
Steam told it.
Have said this is good to go. That is why. But like you say, I'm kind of with you. Where going into it, I was like, okay, I want to see what this is like, because I don't believe it. So I wasn't too surprised. But yeah, I think Steam Deck is kind of it's the closest thing to a PC handheld, but it's still kind of the Wild West in terms of because there's just so many games, right? There's just so many games. You can't how do you make sure they all are regulated?
Yeah, and I wonder if it's because I wonder if it's in vogue to have your game Steam Deck verified. Do you know, so developers are just we're just going to put the badge on it. We don't really know, but it will look good if we put the ready for Steam Deck badge on our store page.
Well, it's actually something that I look for a lot now when I'm buying stuff. Just will this also work if I want to play it casually, just in bed or something?
Yeah.
I really like Steam Deck. I've been using it a lot more recently. It's such a good piece of kit. It's quite expensive, and it's kind of niche, I guess, for what it does. But
yeah, if you own a Switch, it's some games probably run fine on Switch.
Oh, it's you put it side by side to a Switch, and it's leaps and bounds ahead. Not just of graphical quality, but the Steam Deck just feels really nice as well. I have quite big hands, at least I think. The Switch feels really uncomfortable to play handheld for me.
Yeah, no, I get that. It feels I'm worried as well. It feels flimsy.
Yes, gonna break.
Connections are just those little slots, and I'm always is this just gonna snap in my hands? Yeah.
The Steam Deck is a hefty boy. He's a big boy. It's good though. This is a weird how do we get here? We're talking about Jank Joel on the screen. Yeah, it's a good advert for Steam Deck. Here's The Last of Us on Steam Deck.
Yeah, pre-order one now. Wasn't it on? It was on sale recently or something.
Well, part 1 just came out on PC.
No, I meant the Steam Deck.
Oh, Steam Deck. Yeah, I think it like shut up, Sam.
Well, no wonder they're trying to get rid of him.
It had a little bit of money off, I think. It's always like if you go to like Steam Games, it's always #1 top seller. But I'm like, is that just like Valve? Just like
they would, yeah, right.
Is that even legal? What I'm implying? Like, can you fake a bestseller list with your own product?
I mean, it sounds like it would be something that would be illegal, but I don't think it would be like verified, right?
I mean, yeah, like who cares? I think for ages when the Index VR came out, it was like $1,000, and it was like, yeah, #1 bestseller.
Although
everyone's buying it.
This is either these developers are paying off Steam, or I worry for humanity of there's always an adult game in the new and trending section. Like at the moment, Monster Girl 1000 was listed under like 5th earlier, I think 5th or 6th.
That's tailored to you, Steve.
Yeah, that's specific to you.
Is it? Oh shit, that's tired smoke then.
Okay, yeah.
Of everything happening right now in the world, this is what makes you worry for humanity.
So I was like, why is
an H game on Steam.
Well, no, because I was like, why is it so high up? That's the thing. The only adult game I've played is the one that.
I'm not going into this. Christ. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game FourCast. I'm quickly doing the intro to completely derail Steve's horny conversation. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. I'm here with Olive Meister Will.
Hello.
And Quikwix Steve.
Hello, my name is Steve, and I am 100% that clueless.
And Sammeh.
Ahoy.
Hoi. Lots of stuff this week. There's not a whole mass amount of news. There is some good stuff, though. We, as you probably know from last episode, we were talking about E3 probably on the way out. And then I think like half a day after we talk about it, E3's just fucking dead. We're not prophets. I'm not claiming we're prophets, but we might be smart people. But you got that kind of bit later.
Okay. There was a bit of like drawing the target around the arrow, though, right? Because it was like everyone was pulling out. I don't think we're ready to start our Mystic Meg service just yet.
E3 has no one going to it, and we're like, this probably isn't gonna run, you guys. But yeah, we'll get into some games. We'll talk about what we've been playing. I'm going to start off with you, Steve. What have you been checking out this week? Oh god. Well,
I've played a little bit of Deceive Inc. I was going to say, it's been a busy week where so I haven't had much time to play too much of it, but I've played some, especially with Josh and Will as well.
Yeah.
And it's a Deceive Inc. Is
yeah.
Well, sorry.
I was going to say, like, how have you found it? Like, what?
It's been fun. Like, Deceive Inc. is a spy game. People keep saying it's like Watch Dogs multiplayer, like Assassin's Creed multiplayer. So I like to say it's like Prop Hunt meets Hunt Showdown. In a way,
and far off, I guess, yeah.
It's fun where it's the whole game is about NPCs basically, and you have to disguise yourself as an NPC, and you're in your squad, or you can play solo or in a team of 3, and you have to disguise yourself as an NPC and work your way around the map to open vaults while trying to suss out other players. And if you see them, you can shoot them, and then you've got to open the vaults and then open the big vault, grab the loot, and get out and be the one team that extracts. It's a lot of fun, but like as I said, I think Will's played much more of this game than I have.
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
yeah,
I've played more than you, Steve, and then I think Will has played more.
Yes,
than both of us probably combined. I think this game's great.
Strats. I've been coming up with strats, mate, all day. It's great.
What's the strat then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the best strat at the moment that I've found is there's you have to open 3. It's like Hunt's Clues. You have to open 3 terminals which open the vault. So if you find a terminal first and it's not been tampered with, someone has to come through there at some point. Yeah. So what you can do is there's a gadget which lets you disguise as an object in the environment. So I've been disguising myself as a chair and just sitting right in front of the terminal. And then when someone comes to activate it, I just shoot them in the back. And it's 100% success rate. It's going to be a nightmare when people catch on and everybody starts doing this, because then nobody is going to be moving. It's just going to be a bunch of chairs sat around waiting.
I don't know how you make it work, because I've tried that a couple of times, and I feel like both times I tried it, I'm like, okay, I'm a plant in a really good position, and then someone walks past, looks at me, and then starts shooting at me. And I'm like, how?
Well, really? Oh,
I think there are some characters who can scan, like, trace you and scan you.
It might just be getting unlucky or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you make it look so easy.
Out. You're like a plant. You're like in a swimming pool or something.
Yeah.
Like, how did he figure me out?
Yeah. I'm a chest of drawers in the middle of a corridor. Like, how?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like I think what's sort of best to mention as well is as you walk around like an NPC, your NPC body, what people see, is always looking towards the direction you're walking.
Yeah.
Whereas you as a player can look around, 360. That doesn't affect the way your character is walking, the way your character is looking. That way you blend in more as an NPC.
Yeah.
Really, like lots of little clever stuff like that. They even make NPCs kind of do janky stuff to make like that's a player, because look how weird it is. But it's like, no.
Yeah, like the first time I played, there was a guy who was like walking into a wall, and I was like, oh, that's a player, and I shot him, and I was like, oh no, they made an NPC walk into a wall just to mess with you, just to mess with people like me. Yeah.
I've had an NPC, because when you go up to certain doors, you have to unlock them with intel that you find around, and it takes time to use it on a door to open it. And I've seen NPCs walk up to locked doors and stand there and wait. And I've shot them, and they're like, "No, don't shoot me!" I'm like, why? Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
There's even some things where it's like, and there's like a Hitman style like disguise system where you can't go into certain areas. Like if you're an NPC, they won't let you in like staff rooms and guard rooms and stuff. And sometimes, NPCs will try and like break into a staff room anyway, just to be shooed out, just so it looks like it's a player who's like accidentally wandered into the wrong place. It's so clever. Yeah,
I feel like this game, I'll be better at the game now than the more I play it, because the more I start learning about stuff like that, I'll be thinking more. Whereas I'll probably be more successful if I just play looser, like I'm new.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense. But like,
I think this game, like, it's unfortunately it is paid. It's £16, which I think is honestly gonna cripple it in the long run.
I think it's fine. I think
it's fine, but like we're enjoying it. But if we didn't, who would know about this game? Like, would you know about this game unless we didn't have like certain people like telling us about it?
Or it's like word of mouth, right? And that's what does.
Yeah,
I guess. Good. Yeah. Like £16 is not a lot of money. Like,
it is pretty reasonable, but I still think that like paid multiplayer games need to be something special, or they kind of die out unless they're like on Game Pass.
Yeah, but we were talking about it. We've been talking about it this whole time about how like there's in this live service game era, right? It's like people have their games, and it's so hard to launch a new multiplayer game these days and have it stick. And like Steve said, like adding a price tag just makes it that little bit harder,
Mm-hmm.
I can see this doing okay, I think, long term due to just word of mouth, maybe, and just getting a small, dedicated, little player base that like dicking around, because there's not a lot of these types of games.
You say that, but this game having a small, dedicated player base means that like they will know what all the NPCs do. Like, for example, yesterday we played me, Will, and Josh, and Josh and Will were like, that NPC's been sat there for a bit too long, and they said, Steve, go up and punch it. So I did, thinking, I'm just going to attract all the guards, and I punched it, and it turned out to be a player.
There you go.
And it's just like, I feel like after a while, people are going to learn every single minute detail of what the NPCs do, and then it'll be like, if you do anything that deviates from that, you're going to be sussed out instantly.
I think that's too sweaty. I don't think you could.
The worry for me for this game is people just go in and go, I'm not going to do the cover thing, and just go and shoot everything on sight.
True, that as well.
That's already started happening with me. Well, I was playing with Steve literally like an hour ago, and with every game that I play, I run a little bit faster as I go around. I walk a little bit less. I play a little bit looser, a little bit riskier. I don't know if that's just the natural evolution of these types of games. It's just to solve the problem as quickly as possible. It's like it's like Hunt Showdown again, where your first game of Hunt is like, oh, careful, don't do this, don't do that, be sneaky. Whereas the more you play that, it's just like, just sprint from compound to compound as quickly as possible.
Well, I think that's because you can run around, because this game has a weirdly high time to kill, and it feels like you can do all the great subterfuge you want, but ultimately it always comes down to a shootout. And if somebody is a better shot than you, it
doesn't matter if you got the drop.
It doesn't matter, who gets the drop on who. Like I've had, I've sussed someone out and I've been following them, and I'm like, haha, let me shoot you in the back, and then they just turn around and laser beam me, and I'm like, that didn't feel. I feel like I outplayed you there, but you just sound like you're just a cracked 12-year-old and you beat me.
From the other day was like, you turned around to Josh and went, "Now I know you shot them with a sniper rifle, but I still had to win the duel."
That is something that I think that they can improve on. Is if you do, because like that seems to be the whole thing of the game. It's Deceive Inc. It's deceiving other people. If you suss someone out, you should get like a bonus to damage. Like there should be like, you should have an advantage.
Your first,
it's very hard to implement. Like, have you sussed someone out, or did you just get the first shot off?
Or your first shot on an enemy player who is in cover whilst you are in cover should have a multiplier attached
do like
to it.
Bonus damage. Because there's also, because you can take disguises for NPCs of different like body types and heights, you can't even guarantee a headshot with your first shot. Even if they're sat still and stood still, you can shoot. It's happened a couple times where I've like shot someone's disguise in the head, but it doesn't count as a headshot because they're like, 2 foot shorter or something.
No way.
Yeah.
The hurt box is the character, not the cover.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah, that sounds.
I'll wait till they release Job as a character then.
But this game seems like it has a lot of promise. I just hope that they like keep at it, because there's so much potential there for like more like fun shenanigans.
It is. I was gonna say it's like when it works. Like when we were playing as a 3, and we were like guy in the fedora, follow that guy in the fedora. We think it's him, and we're just like, all 3 of us are just like in a little squad, just following this one guy because we're sure it's a player. When it's stuff like that, and you're trying to like outthink the other players, it's so much fun.
It looks like the game is set up. One thing we haven't really touched upon is it's got like an Overwatch hero kind of thing going on. I think there's currently, was it like 8 or 9 characters right now? In the game, and they all have sort of a different weapon, a different gadget, or like ability, and a different passive. And that's where there's like a few differences there, and that's where it makes sense, I think, going forward, where they'll probably do additions. I would personally, I'd rather see like more maps. I think the maps are a bit more interesting than the characters to me. But whether or not they do that, because obviously a map, I feel, especially because these maps are huge, like they're big, complex buildings that you can walk around, and obviously got all these NPCs doing this.
They're big. They're like Hitman levels.
They're massive.
They're huge. Some of them. Yeah.
I can imagine, especially with a game where it looks like the budget's not low, obviously, but it's not like it's not a AAA game or anything.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to create new maps. That's what I'm curious about. Everything else is just almost like copy pasted from Overwatch. I feel like same rarity, same UI layout.
There's loot boxes you get just for playing.
Very stylized, like Overwatch.
Which is fine. Like, if you're a lower budget game, like, just imitate what works from other games. Like, that's fine.
Overwatch made a lot of money. It's like, if it helps fund the game, then I'm all for it. Yeah.
But this is, I think, I don't know like how much I'll play this, but I feel like what I've played so far, this is what I've been looking for, at least for a short while, which is just like something that's different to what I usually play. Something that's a bit new. It's a bit different.
Yeah. It's funny as well, because it feels, it's kind of set up like a very hardcore Hunt-esque or like Tarkov, extraction shooter, but I feel like the whole walking around as an NPC, it's like weirdly relaxing instead of like Tarkov is so stressful when you're just listening out for footsteps all the time in case there's somebody around the corner or something. And this is just like, nah, as long as you aren't doing something stupid, generally you are okay just to sort of wander about the map and
this is like
feel things out.
When we had the conversation long time ago about hyenas and what that would end up being like, and how like is that like hunt? This is kind of what I imagined that would be like in a weird way. Like extraction, but with like a twist with different aesthetics and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we'll see what hyenas is like. When
I really hope this does really well, because I just feel like we're in, it's so difficult to launch. I've played a bunch of multiplayer games recently that I really like Marauders and stuff, and it's just like people just stop after a little bit and go back, and I wish there was just more multiplayer games coming out.
I think I'm trying to remember, what was that pixel shooter that we played? Due Process.
Oh yeah.
Due Process. Yeah.
Same worries I had, because we enjoyed playing Due Process.
Yeah.
But we just stopped, right? It was like someone would go, "Oh, do you want to play it?" And then we would go, "Eh."
Yeah, nah.
I think the difference there is, well, I don't know. There's a lot of differences, I imagine. Due Process was like a 5v5, right? And I feel like this has a really good solo mode. Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I have the same worries of if it doesn't get updated in the right way or doesn't get good updates.
Yeah,
it can easily kill the game, and that's just what it has to do. I feel like just to survive. Not even good.
I'm gonna throw out a alternate, not like opinion, but like an alternate way of looking at it, which is like there's a whole thing these days in the world of live service games where this game has to, this game's gonna die if they don't do this or that, or if they don't play it this way, it needs updates to it. But like, if the game makes its money back from development, that's also a success, right? I think.
Not that it isn't a success.
Yeah,
but I would like to play a game and it still be around next year.
Oh yeah, I would like that, but I would also like if this game lasts, I don't know, like a year, and then they're like, we're stopping it, but it's made enough money to prove that we can make more stuff like this in the future.
Yes,
it's not just like a failed experiment.
And it can do that because it's got the price tag to buy it.
Yeah.
If it was a live service game, I don't think you can go that route.
But I also do think because sometimes multiplayer games you can tell they are trying to stick around for a long while, and other times it's also almost like they're like, yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because you know it's not going to last long.
Well, also, sorry, I'll let you go.
No, it's difficult to know whether it's like is this a game that they just wanted to get their money, be done with it, or is this a game where they're like, we really want this to, we are dedicated to this game, we're going to be updating it for years.
Well, people want that Overwatch money, right? Or that live service money. They want because it's such, if this kicks off and it becomes profitable and people stick around and keep playing it, it's like, it's so much easier for this to fund the development of itself and other projects if it's successful, versus just leaving it out there and just being like, whatever, we'll make a new game.
It's also that, but it's also like you said, where it takes a lot of influence from Overwatch in the way it looks and the way it does its cosmetics and stuff, and it's just like, that is also, if you just want to make a live service model, it's like the easiest template to lift, right?
Yeah,
you could just here's a template. We do skins, we do a type premium currency and a few loot boxes. You can set that up without also expecting to set the world on fire. I feel like
I think you can.
That's just a monetization template that they've just chosen to go down. It's like I don't think they're selling this game, this kind of niche game for 16 quid, expecting to be the next big multiplayer game. I think it's just like this is just their way of monetizing it for the life that it has. And it probably will, at some point, like Steve says, it'll get sweatier because the player base will get smaller, and then it dies, and then we won't realize that it's died because we won't be playing it anymore.
Yeah.
We would have long moved
That's
on.
the thing. I would only put a lifespan on not this game, but just these types of games.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Of like 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably in terms of like popularity, probably not even that long.
I'd say less, and that's why I think I try to not think about it and just have fun for what it is like now.
Yeah. Because it's like I went to the cinema the other day and I spent more there than I did on Deceive Inc, and I've already got my money's worth out of Deceive Inc. So it's just like, I guess it's fine. Yeah, if it goes away. The problem is, I think, when it comes to other developers looking at all these failed, even if Deceive Inc makes its money, right, and is relative, should we say, like successful, not like obviously Fortnite or Overwatch successful, but does enough that they can make a new game or something. But it's like other studios coming in and saying like, oh, look at Due Process, look at Deceive Inc. Even if they're, successful in air quotes, they're going to be like, well, I'm not making a multiplayer game, a niche weird twist on a multiplayer game, because those games didn't last. So what, how can I expect to, sort of thing. So that's kind of what I worry about.
I would think like I wouldn't expect like a bigger studio to look at this and be like, that's doing well, let's copy it. I would instead expect like another maybe indie studio to be like, oh yeah, that's really cool and it's doing well. People seem to like it, and I've had an idea for this sort of thing for a while. I'm going to actually do it. And I think especially at the moment where with things like Dark and Darker, it's like it's proving like, oh, you can, if you have a really good idea and well execute it, you can launch like a weird multiplayer only like title in 2023.
It's like it's like almost like Battle Royale Light almost, where it's not like these huge like over ambitious, like you need 100 players versus 100 players. It's like 16 players, you're kind of all against every single other person on the map, or like in small teams. And I think that's the way to go, because they often have like the weird niche like Dark and Darker, like this game. So I'd like to see more of these types of games actually, because I think Battle Royales being like the big 100v100 is kind of over. Like the established ones are established now.
I just want to stop shooting people with AKs in some kind of like dusty favela. I feel like that's been the era of shooters for the last like decade or something.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but CS:GO. Oh wow, Counter-Strike.
Oh god, 2. I forgot. CS:GO 2
coming soon.
Never mind, give me the dust. I'm there.
We'll start wrapping this up, but I will end this with, if this sounds interesting, and a lot of us are playing it right now, sort of on stream and around here and there, if it looks interesting, now is probably the best time to ever pick it up, if you're ever going to play it.
I still stand by £16 is cheap for a game.
It is cheap. In today's
it is.
market where AAA games are full priced £70.
I feel like it's a nice price point. I could easily have seen them charging like 25, 30 for this. And it being a way harder sell. But at 16, it feels like that's a nice little sweet spot there.
16 quid was the price where you posted in a Discord group chat with us in it, where you were like, Deceive Inc's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
That's fine. I'll play
just tell someone, hey, just don't have takeaway next week. And then there you go.
Just skip lunch for a day. And But we'll put a bow on this. But really, really fun game. I'm having tons of fun with it. So, so we'll pass it over to you then, Sam. What have you been playing this week?
So, I'll start with my continuation of Ryza. Because I, as I said before, I've got to the point where, I got to it very quickly. Because I know the system, I broke and abused the system, so combat is kind of not really a thing for me, which is fine. That's how I've chosen to play the game. Don't worry about it. But the more I play this game, the more I want to play this game. Like I am.
Oh, that's good.
I've gained another 5 party members since last week, and there's still another 6 slots.
Jesus, like a fighting game roster.
But it was like before I had these extra 5 people, I only had 5 slots. So it's like now that I've got them, it got bigger. So now I'm like, well, when I get those other people, because the story isn't like I think I'm at the end of the game.
Right.
But I must not be.
You should have got 6 characters left.
I'm getting materials that especially for Atelier, I'm getting materials that you only get at the end of the game, and I'm making items, with names like Philosopher's Stone and shit like that. Like, people that don't know the Atelier series will probably recognize something like that. I'm using materials called, like, Adamant and stuff like that. Like, we're using endgame shit, but I'm like, the story doesn't feel like it's wrapping up.
Yeah, I mean, like, you feel like it's endgame, but that's from what you know from Atelier 1 and 2, right? What if that's just not endgame stuff in this?
Yes, but it's like now I have access to basically make everything.
Oh, okay.
Like before, I was like, everything I could make, I was making OP versions of it, but because I didn't have materials, I couldn't make the better quote-unquote stuff.
Yeah.
But now I can literally make like 95% of all the items that are craftable. So there's not a lot left to go, but I'm like, to be honest.
Well, I'll throw it out there. I mentioned it a little bit before we started doing the recording, but I did buy Atelier Ryza 1, hoping to like really get into it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I don't know. So what Steam refund is like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
I played it right up to that window. It was like an hour and 50-something minutes. And the story had just been 3 main characters, one of them being Ryza, this anime girl. And they were adventuring almost for the sake of adventuring. They were like, yeah, let's go in this woods for literally no reason. I want to go over. And I was like, okay. That's fine.
You never been a teenager? Do you not remember being a teenager, Josh, just adventuring for no reason?
That's literally the story of like they've been kids, and all the people are being like, "Oh, you're just kids. You don't do anything," and they're like, well, "We wanna see the world and go and do stuff," and that's how that game starts.
Yeah, so I went into these woods and I fought some kind of generic-ish looking monsters, and then I got into these 2 alchemists found me. It was this man, this woman. They were just like. These like, I think the woman had like massive knockers, and this dude's like 6-pack was like hanging out, and they were like, "Hey kids, want to come do alchemy?" And then I did a bit of the alchemy, and it was okay. I'll be honest, I didn't really get it. I didn't really know what I was doing. And
you you experiment, and then
and I got to a point where I was like, I don't know if I want to actually keep playing this.
I think there's the issue as well of like, so I assume you refunded it.
I did, yeah.
I don't think 2 hours is long enough to get a grasp of a JRPG.
That's fine. I get that.
Yeah.
I also had the mindset though I didn't want to burn out on a massive JRPG right before this big chunk of games coming out like Final Fantasy 16 and Zelda. The new Zelda and stuff like that. Because if it's a big RPG, it will take me a while to finish, and that will lead up to these new games. But yeah, I just and I know I sort of not ranted, but like mumbled about it earlier. But this was another game that said playable on Steam Deck, and it wasn't nice on Steam Deck at all.
That's a shame.
That's beautiful on controller, so I thought it would be.
It was kind of. I think I was running on low or medium, and again, it was like a janky 30 FPS. And the UI is tiny on the Steam Deck. I was just kind of like squinting at numbers. And I was like, I bought it as a Steam Deck game, so
yeah.
Sounds like Steam Deck shit.
It's fucking awful. Don't get one. That's a lie.
I'll be honest.
I like mine.
My sponsors.
Valve, please. But yes.
But yeah. So I'm cracking through Ryza 3, but I did take a break to play a fishing game, which really isn't a bloody fishing game. Old school Dredge.
Old school RuneScape, no.
So, how I would describe this game is like, Subnautica is like, everyone's like, oh, it's an open world survival crafting game, but it's underwater.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not. it's a horror game. That's what Dredge is. Dredge is like, it's an exploration fishing game, and it's like, it is. And some of the core elements, the same as in Subnautica, the core elements is, gathering, open world survival, crafting. And it's like you have to do the fishing and the exploration, but really it's an eldritch horror game. And I mean, it's fantastic, but it's like you spend the day, you spend any time doing whatever the fuck you want. There's a time system and not really a day system. It keeps track of your days, but doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Kind of deal.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, at nighttime, you start to panic. And the more panicked you are, the more things you start to see.
I thought you meant you as a player. Like, you sitting there at your PC panicking.
Whether they're real or not real. Like, you'll be... I was going to say swimming. No, you'll be... What is it? Driving your boat?
Cruising?
God, what is it? This is...
Sailing?
Sailing.
You'll be rowing. It took me so long to get to that word. You'll be sailing. Yeah, that bloody eel on the pitch there. Oh my god! Like you get told about it. You know it's there, and you're like, okay, I'll see this thing coming, and then it just comes out, and you're like, no, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
That's what I loved about on the Steam page. I really liked it because I was looking through this, and it's like it said what you said, like eldritch horror fishing game. And I was like, okay, yeah, this doesn't look too bad. This looks cool. And then you get to that screenshot, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Big creepy thing in there.
But so you're sailing along, and say it's nighttime, you're a little bit panicked. A rock will just like form in front of you, and if you're not paying attention, you don't swerve in time to dodge it. And then like you'll look back to where the rock was, and it's gone.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like, and there'll be like boats out, and you can like foghorn to them, and then they start like beelining for you. So you foghorn. They're not boats.
And they're not boats. Oh my god, that sounds cool. So what's like the loop? What's the idea behind the game?
So
what's the aim, I guess?
The aim is you. So the story starts out with you've crashed, so you've got a brand new shit boat. You have to do your generic, like, go out, gather, upgrade it a bit, blah, blah, blah. You upgrade your tools so that you can fish in new areas to complete quests. But you're going to get, like, an item for each area for this collector guy.
Right, okay.
And then that is the primary goal, is to collect all of these items for story reasons that, like, I can't really say, otherwise it really gives away too much.
That's fine. Yeah.
But basically, the generic loop is the when you're fishing or doing anything, whether you're fishing up fish or materials such as rope or lumber, it was on screen there. Basically, you have a cursor. It depends what you're doing, but you have a cursor and you like press a button and it jumps up or down between two like rings, and you have to dodge the empty nodes.
So it's like like little fishing mini games.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I'm down. Yeah.
And then if you're fishing, the fishing ones have multiple ones, but basically you have like almost like a Dead by Daylight like window where you have to hit it to progress. But you don't actually have to. You are always succeeding. You just have to not fail. But if you hit it at the right times, it speeds it up.
Like a skill check.
Oh, okay.
What they call
because
it in DBD.
Time only passes when you are sailing or when you are fishing. If you just stand still, like on the ocean, time doesn't move, nothing happens. You have enough time to get your bearings and see what's going on. When you're trying to make time doesn't pass.
Right, so you're trying to make like a bunch of money and then get back before the sun sets, basically, to upgrade your boat.
Or because again, there's some stuff you can only get when it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So there's like rare fish.
Yeah.
Rare fish at night.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Rare
yeah.
fish,
Reward.
rare materials, and people will give you quests that require those things, so you have no choice. And there aren't boss fights, but there are like stuff that will fuck you up. You have to deal with them. But yeah, this game was fantastic. I like playing different types of fishing games when they're mini game based, not like this is fishing 2023.
Yeah,
or
same.
whatever.
I like. It's so weird. Fantasy fishing, I am so here for. Regular fishing, it bores me to tears.
Yes.
In video games, yeah.
So when I saw like it's very chill, but like every 10 minutes I was in Discord playing this, and then I would just go, "Oh fuck," and then just be like, "No."
This part of the trailer here, for anyone that can see, where it starts showing some of the like insanity, like eldritch horror stuff. It looks so fucking cool. This trailer is awesome.
And it's like you start with, I think 3. Basically, your ship hull has lives. Let's just put it easily like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get hit or bump into stuff, you lose 1 of your 3 lives.
Okay.
But if you get hit by something big, you're gonna lose 2 or 3. So like you have to upgrade your ship. I don't actually know what happens when you lose it all, because it hadn't happened to me because I was too scared shitless.
Fucking pro gamer.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gameplay loop is very simple. It's very easy, and although there is a day and night system and everything, and it tracks your days, there's no rush. So you can like, oh, I've been hit. Fuck that shit. I'm going back to base. I'm healing up. Then I'm going out again. And I've got 2 endings so far.
Oh, multiple endings.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a third. But
you hit credits.
I'm at the point now. Yeah, I've hit credits twice.
Yeah.
To get 2 different endings, 2 different story endings. And it's like, I'm at the point now where it's like, I don't want to do the 100% achievements, because a lot of them are just like, catch 150 fish this way.
Oh, right,
and I've got no problem with that, but I didn't do it while playing the game, and I don't want that to be my only reason to play the game.
You're not fussed about it. Yeah.
Watch that ending on YouTube.
So,
how long did it take you to finish?
10 hours for both endings.
That's a good length. I like that. I could play that over 10
Yeah,
hours.
how much does it cost?
It's like 20 something, 25? 22.
Scroll down a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there are prices on
is
Steam.
one of those like when people like Little Nightmares and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always like, like I can appreciate small games in length, but it needs to appeal to me, and side scrollers and stuff don't do that. But this kind of like exploration mini game style game really appealed to me, and this game is fantastic. I think eldritch horror done well is always fantastic.
Yeah, I think I looked at this, and the only reason I didn't buy it is just because I was playing a few other things at the time.
Yeah,
because I looked up and I was like, I think someone mentioned it on one of the Discords about how they were streaming this, and I was like, what is that? And then it's just like, as I'm looking into it, I'm like, this is awesome. Why don't how have I never heard of this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably my fault. Like I saw it last week and I was like, oh, it's another game where it's like feels like post-apocalyptic. You're on a boat sailing around, and I'm like,
I mean, you can't know, right?
Yeah, but I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like everyone's talking about it. I'm like, darn it.
Yeah, don't trust Steve, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I spent an hour and a half, I think, today alone, sailing the seas because a quest. I rescued a dog and I needed to find a home for it. Yeah. And I went to every single place on the map to find a home for this dog before I was happy to finish the game.
Otherwise, he'd be lost forever in your save file.
Yeah. Well, no, otherwise he's got to be on my ship, and it's like that's not a good life.
It's not a good life for a dog.
Even I don't want to be here. Okay, well,
It's got a decent story. Yeah, we'll carry on.
Okay, we'll go on that. But yeah, I think I wishlisted this, so I'll probably play this at some point.
I think I'm going to have to play this too.
Yeah. All right, Will, what have you been doing?
I have been on. I was browsing Humble Bundle the other day.
Yeah.
And there was a bundle which was Vampire Survivor likes. I don't know what we're calling this.
I
genre.
saw this.
People are really up in the air about it. And Erin has been playing a lot of Vampire Survivors recently, and she's kind of gotten me back into it.
Yeah.
And I've been messing around, and this cropped up, best of survivors like, and I was like, oh, I'll try this out. I'll try some of these out, and then I posted to my Discord, and I was like, hey, has anyone heard of any of these? Or any of them any good? And no one responded. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna look at the best rated ones. So there was one in this bundle, and it's called Boneraiser Minions. And it is a Vampire Survivor like, except you are a little tiny necromancer, and instead of finding and combining weapons when you level up, you are making minions and combining minions into they're essentially your weapons, and then all you have to do is worry about living while your guys tear about and kill things. And it's really, really good. I think it has the kind of, what was the other Survivor like we played? Like 20 minutes to dawn or
20
something?
20 minutes till dusk, 20 minutes till dawn, dusk till dawn, 20
forget,
dawns, 20 dusks.
It had a terrible name. I can
so
never
bad,
remember the name of that game. 20 minutes to dawn or something. But I think one of the things we said there was like, it's a better game, but that makes it a worse experience because it doesn't surprise you. Like you sort of fall into a formula really quickly, and it's less interesting for it. And this is kind of the same thing, where it's like a it's like a more cohesive like game. But I think it's just also a really, really fun game. It's like every run is you start off with like a bunch of little minions, and then as you're going around and killing things and collecting bones, and then when you level up, it's like, hey, what kind of minion do you want? And you pick, and then after a while you start to see like synergies, and you start to learn the combinations of different ones, and it gets like proper wacky where there's a bunch of different like factions of undead that you start to see, and you're like, oh, I know if I get a mage and a boomerang zombie, I can combine those and make a sniper rifle zombie. And it's like, doesn't really, it's all very tongue in cheek, but it's just really, really good. That's it.
You certainly seem like there's like more of a rise of these types of games these days. Where it's like Vampire Survivors come out and has like 200,000 positive reviews on Steam. People are like, oh shit, I can make a game like this in like 3 months. Let's go.
Exactly, that's it. Because it's like it's not a really hugely the barrier to entry for making a game in this genre is not as high as something like a multiplayer shooter or something, is it? It's way easier.
It's weird though, because I feel like this is for me personally. I really I love Vampire Survivors. Like, I played it for like 50 hours. I'm going to buy the new DLC on the 13th. But I don't find myself wanting to actively seek out more games like it. At least not now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, I'm not sure. Like all these indie ones, I'm like, they seem like they're put together quite quickly. I know they're probably not, but they always feel like they are. I'm kind of waiting for like a big budget, like Riot, Blizzard one to come out.
How do you do a big budget Vampire Survivors?
I was gonna say, I get the opposite, where I feel like of all the ones I look at, Vampire Survivors still looks like the most budget. Where it looks like it's like deceptive because the game looks super cheap. I know they've done more art and stuff now, but like it looks way cheaper than it is. It looks way dumber than it is, even though, having played it, we all know it's brilliant. It's a fantastic game, but it looks like a really simple, almost like student project still. You know what I mean?
It's kind of weird though, because it sits in my mind kind of where, for a lot of people, Dark Souls, I feel, sat for ages, where all these other games similar to Dark Souls would come out, and they'd be really good. You know, they'd be competent games, but a lot of people's perception would be, it's not Dark Souls, though, is it?
Not Dark Souls.
It's not Dark Souls.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, but I just feel like if you are waiting for you Vampire Survivors yourself out, and you're waiting for this new DLC to come out, this is really, really competent. It's really funny. Yeah. It's really well written. It's very Steve, I think you'd like it. Like the first achievement is your first boner or something.
Hell yeah!
And then hold on, where is it? Yeah, the achievement rate for raising your very first zombie is thy first boner, and the description is "Mummy will be proud."
Did Steve make this game?
Secretly,
maybe he did the writing for it. Yeah.
Secretly, all of you went to college or university for game development, but I made the first game that got published on Steam.
Good job, Steve. Yeah, good.
It's got some fun little twists. Like you kind of, instead of there being levels, it's always this a similar kind of escalation in enemies, but you can you start off and it ramps up very quickly, and then in the hideout you buy intermittent waves of enemies and make them harder. So you're kind of like tuning the difficulty to where you like it, sort of thing. Because it's like it starts and it's like, oh, it's like peasants and then knights, but then if you buy the wave of like fucking, I don't know what was that? there's like an ent level where a bunch of trees like bum rush you, and it's like, oh, if I buy the ent level and it slots neatly in between these two waves, you know, it gives me enough resources that I can get further in on it, and it's yeah, it's good. Bunch of fun characters, bunch of side stuff that I haven't touched. There's a built-in card game that I haven't even.
What the fuck?
Haven't even touched that yet. Not really sure how to feel about that.
Indie games come out for $3.99 with the best card game you've ever played in recent years.
Oh my god! Right? I can't wait. Yeah.
Why is that always the case that games that have like a tacked-on card game, the card game is always the best bit of it?
Oh, because it's not. It's like true. It's like quote unquote tacked on, but I bet the person that made this has had that card game in their back pocket for like 10 years, designed on paper.
You can't justify like making a card game video game because nobody can.
I want to sell this card
if they
game.
make a Vampire Survivors,
exactly,
and put it in there. Yeah.
What's hot these days? For fucking Vampire Survivors. Yeah, I can make that. Put my card game finally out there. Trick people into playing my card game.
Yeah, it's just really good. It reminds me of like an endless Binding of Isaac mode sort of thing. In the way that it's set up, it's just really good. It's really good, and it's like £3, £4,
$3.99.
Like that.
I saw. Yeah, Steve told me you can scroll down to look at the price, and it's
you're welcome.
Absolutely, just impulse buy if you are looking for something like this.
Or it's like there's lots of vampire stuff out at the moment. You got that list that you just said, which I know had quite a few games on it. It's not a news story, but it's worth mentioning. I think I threw it out there earlier. Vampire Survivors getting a new DLC. On the 13th of April, which is like...
Which will be next Thursday.
Yeah, it's like, absolutely, yeah. I feel like even if I wasn't going to play it, I'm obliged to buy it, because I owe these people way more money than I've given them for Vampire Survivors at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, if you're done with that, then we'll move on to the final one.
You should buy it. You should buy this, it's good.
$3.99, yeah. Skip the meal deal
like
at
a sandwich.
And use code Olivermeister on checkout.
Yeah.
It won't do anything, but
for a free kick to the balls. Yeah, so this week I have been playing a little game called Paranormasight.
Yes, I'm so glad.
So I mentioned last week how I was playing this. I think last time when I mentioned it, I was probably like 2 hours in, and I was having an absolute blast with this. And even all the way through to the end, it's like 12 hours long. It is an absolute blast. I love this so much. This game, I mentioned last week that it's kind of like an adventure game, puzzle game / visual novel. Now that I've played the whole thing, I want to elaborate very clearly. This is a visual novel first. It is primarily reading in this game. So there is like a few puzzly bits here and there, but it is very, very text heavy. Also, the fact that obviously it is a visual novel, there are like, key plot points or whatever. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to sort of outline the intro and tell you sort of what it's about. But if you want to go in completely blind, obviously I can't quite avoid that, unfortunately. But Paranormasight is a game by Square Enix. Its full title is Paranormasight: The Seven Mysteries of Honjo, which I'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, it's a story that takes place kind of like late 20th century, so it's like 1980, I think. It's like there's no mobile phones or anything, but there's like
time for horrors.
Yeah, basically, yeah. There's internal phones and like phone boxes and fax machines, but no one's got mobiles and stuff. But yeah, so it's a visual novel. The game starts. You start as a guy called Shoujo. Let's see if I can find him very quickly. He's on this page for anyone watching. Yeah. You start the story as a guy called Shogo, and you have a friend called Yoko, and kind of like he's like the prologue chapter, and it kind of outlines what the story's about with the help of like Yoko. She explains it, but essentially the game takes place over. It starts at sort of like midnight, and it goes through a solid 24 hours. And the premise of the game is, in this part of Tokyo, something is happening called the Rite of Resurrection. And what that is it's basically it's kind of like a curse or a ceremony that just like happens, and it allows you to resurrect someone that's died. And it's not just anyone can do this Rite of Resurrection. Instead, what happens is when this rite happens, 9 curse stones manifest into the hands of 9 random people. And these curse stones, provided certain things are fulfilled, certain conditions are fulfilled, allow you to kill someone and take they're called soul dreads. You take their soul dreads into your curse stone. And if you fill it up, you can perform the Rite of Resurrection. So kind of confusing, but stick with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9 random people are given these curse stones. They all understand how the rite works. They have to go around and almost like they have to kill each other if they want to do this Rite of Resurrection. And all of them kind of have their own reason for doing it. Some of them want to maybe resurrect someone, a family member that's like dear to them, or they got something else in mind. Some of the characters want nothing to do with it. They're just like, I've got this curse stone. I don't want to be part of this. But the fact is they're now, by having the curse stone, they can't get rid of it. They're part of this thing that's happening. But the idea is, so 9 people have these curse stones, but no one knows. You don't know who has these stones. So you have one, but you have no clue who else has one. But all you know is that everyone's kind of out to try and find each other to either take their stone off them or, kill them to try and perform this rite.
Okay, I have a question. How many people is this game got like not only 9 characters in it? It's like, you can tell instantly.
No, so the idea is that there's a whole bunch of different characters, but the story takes place non-linearly from the perspective of 4 different curse stone holders. So it's the whole story told by 4 different people as they go around and try and sort of do their own thing. But what makes the sort of story interesting is, as I said, is the curse stones themselves have different conditions to activation to kill the other person. So the first one that kind of you go through, this guy called Shogo, he has someone he wants to resurrect. So he's like, kind of like, fuck it, I'm going to go through and do what I can. His curse stone is whoever he's talking to, if they leave or walk away, he can kill them. So that's his condition.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, I thought it would be way more specific.
So someone comes up and they're talking and they're like, trying to suss out, are you a cursed stone? Do you have a cursed? Okay, whatever. So they walk away. Bam. You can press a button. You press like the left trigger. You can kill them. and then the story progresses based on that. So
that would be so easy to trigger, though. You just start talking about politics.
well, that's the thing is there's a whole bunch of different ones. So there's one lady that has one. I'll mention a couple at the start. A few of them are like spoilery if I get into them, but a couple of ones that are revealed early on. One of them is if you have anything on you that can start a fire, that's a condition. So there's
anything can start a fire if you really try hard.
Well, that's the game. The game kind of goes there during certain bits, but
I've already got my smouldering good looks, you know.
But there's a bit where the person that can do that, you know, if you have something that can start a fire, you can just that person can just kill them. And there's a bit where that person meets someone else, and the person that has that one says, "Look, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I know you have a curse stone, and you have already met the condition for my one. I can just kill you right now. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to tell me what I want to know, and you're going to do what I want. Otherwise, I'm just going to fucking kill you." And the other person's like, "Are you bluffing? I can't tell. Like, is this real? Is this not real?" And it's lots of like mystery there, trying to work stuff out.
Yeah.
There's a few others. One of them is if you try to hide something, anything, that's a condition. So that can also constitute as like lying, or if you're just trying to keep something secret.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really good for like that person. You know, they can go around and be like, "Are you a curse stone holder?" And they're like, "No." Bam, dead. You can just kill them. So
is it advantageous for you? Are you trying to engineer situations where you want to kill them?
Again, it's a visual novel, so it depends on the character that you are, and you can. It's not tons of branching routes, but you can go certain directions with the story based on decisions you make. Because when a curse condition is met, you don't have to kill the person. You can do, but you don't have to. And the story can change slightly here and there based on what you do.
So you're just trying to keep the characters you like alive, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And like I say, it's a story that's told over sort of 24 hours. Yeah, so the first half of the game is at nighttime when the curses can happen. And like I say, it's kind of like half of them are just trying to... Some of them are trying to go out and get kills. Some of them are trying... There's a detective guy, if I find him. There's these two here, these partners. They're just trying to go around and take stones away to stop, to stop murders happening, basically. There's so many good characters. There's these two schoolgirls. One of them gets a curse stone.
Whoa, who's Richter? Whoa, who's that?
Richter's fucking awesome, and I will not elaborate any further because he's so cool. You have this lady here, Haru. She has the one I mentioned. You discover early on. She has the one that you can kill people if they can start a fire, and he's with her. He's a private detective, and she's trying to. She wants her again. I can go for ages because it's a visual novel. It's a big story, but he's a private detective. He's a private detective working for her, and he's a really cool character. There's these two girls. One of them gets a curse stone, and they're kind of just like, I don't really want this. People are now trying to like kill us, and they just get like caught up in it. But yeah, really.
Is there like no spoilers really, but is there like a dumb one which is like, it's like, oh, you can kill someone if they're jumping on one leg while saying froggy over and over again?
There's like, not really.
Tell me there's one dumb one.
I don't remember dumb ones specifically, but there's some of them where as you get through the game and you start finding out all their conditions, it becomes very apparent that some are vastly superior to others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some of them have really specific activations where you have to like make, like it sounds easy, like make someone walk away to activate it, but if that person is also there to try and find you and kill you, they're not gonna walk away. So it's like, how does that character make them walk away and stuff like that? So
yeah.
But yeah, some of them are absurdly strong as well. But yeah, so really good story. As I said, first half is at night. The second half of the game is during the day, and these curses don't work during the day. So the second half of the day is a lot more. Sam will know what I mean when I say this. It's a lot more sort of Phoenix Wright investigation, where you're like walking around.
Day one.
Yeah. You walk around, and you have to sort of work out why this is happening, how this is happening, before it becomes nighttime again. At which point everyone's going to go, or a handful of people are going to go fucking nuts again and start trying to fulfill this resurrection rite. Yeah, just if any of that sounds interesting, it's really good. I think one thing I will elaborate and be specific about, because it is important to a visual novel, is the writing itself is fantastic. It's really engaging writing. The characters, it's kind of tropey, like two detectives, schoolgirls, kind of tropey characters, but it doesn't come across as tropey. It's like they're really well written, I feel. The art as well is also fantastic. There's not a lot of animation, but they do a lot with what they have, which is really good. Another key thing as well is it's actually, at least in the first half, when it's all the like main curse shit happening, it's really fucking scary. It's actually really tense, which is really good. It's what I wanted out of this, because it is like a horror visual novel. It's not overly gory or anything, but it's just it's really good at holding tension and doing things like that. And you can, when you're in an area, you can look around you like in a 360 in the area you're in, and they do some very clever stuff just with that. Like, you know,
you'll
be looking at a character now, we're like, oh, there's something behind you or something, or turn around, and you have to, you know, physically like spin the camera slowly behind you. Oh, it's really good. It's really good.
And I think the best thing is this game is quite reasonably priced as well. It's only 16 quid for a Square Enix game. Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing, right? I mean, 16 quid. It's not low budget by any means, but like I said, it's like, it's simple but well done art assets with paired with a really good story. There's so much more going on in this game that I don't want to really like spoil. But like, yeah, each of these sets of characters have their own things going on, which all intermingle into one sort of climactic ending, which is a really good ending. So yeah, had a proper good time with that. Really enjoyed that. And again, keep bringing it up. Played this on Steam Deck. Fantastic game on Steam Deck. Was just chilling in bed playing this.
Oh yeah, because it's a book.
Basically, it is basically a book. One last thing that might be interesting to anyone is there's this guy here. You can see him on screen now. This guy is called the Narrator, and he's the first character you meet in the game in like some kind of void area, and he explains to you how you're going to be observing this story via Paranormasight, and it starts kind of like playing on the TV next to him, and it goes into the TV, and the whole game has this kind of like TV vignette. So there's also there is like a weird like meta element as well, where this guy kind of knows what's going on, but never explains. So and again, that's all concluded by the end as well. So there's some really cool stuff that happens.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool story. If you like just kind of like traditional Japanese stuff, I don't mean that as in like, oh, I like anime or whatever, but like if you're interested in like, you know, Japanese culture and things like that, you know, traditional Japanese stuff. There's a lot of that in this as well. So yeah, couldn't speak higher about this. I absolutely loved this from start to finish. It's been a while since I've gotten into like a really good visual novel, I feel.
Yeah.
So this was nice. I know it's it's kind of cheating. It's just like a book, basically. But
yeah. I've never played a visual novel.
Phoenix Wright, great start point.
Fantastic start point. Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I've never played one. I've watched a couple though.
Phoenix Wright is easier than ever to get into as well, because you can buy the remaster trilogy on Steam. I don't even think it's that expensive, and it's the first 3 games, and they're all amazing.
It's always on sale, and it's always like very good sale. Like it's like down to like £765. I'm like, but I'll wait for the next sale, or it's just slightly
wait for the
cheaper.
trilogy.
For the trilogy, yeah, I think it goes down
insane.
to like really cheap. I think so.
That's like, how long is that, Sam? Phoenix Wright 1, 2, and 3, like 80 hours.
Oh, but I don't need an 80-hour game right now.
But
that's all 3.
That's 3 games.
Yeah.
And then each game of Phoenix Wright is broken into 5 cases that can be like done.
The game is broken up so well that like, yeah. You're like, okay, I've played an hour, we're moving on to day 2. This is a good point for me to put it down and pick back up when I want to play next.
Yeah.
Very important question though. Which one has the clown lady?
That's that's beyond the trilogy, I think.
Is it?
I think. I'm not googling it. Something bad will come up.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
What do you mean?
Because it's gonna be like case 3 is when she turns up in it. She's gonna be one of those middle ones where something happens that is important to the story, but like that character itself is nowhere near important.
Yeah.
Apparently she's number 6 in it says Phoenix Wright number 6.
Yeah, I thought it was quite far in. Oh yeah, very quick. I didn't actually show any screenshots. If you're looking now, here is like what the game kind of looks like. I just think the art is gorgeous in this game. I think it's so nice.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. It's got
cool.
like a weird.
It's very
it's got
inky.
It's got the TV blur, which I kind of don't like. You know, like the red and green outlines from these screenshots.
You can, you can't turn that off, but there is like a post processing, which is like the kind of TV grain. You can turn that off. But yeah, the game is kind of. I didn't think about it, but yeah, the game is kind of very like dark and what's the word? Like desaturated kind of thing.
And I assume there's voice acting for this as well.
Has it got the typical multiple paths?
Yeah, so here's a screenshot of the
good.
Yeah, you can see some stuff there.
Is it voice acted?
There's no voice acting.
Oh.
You have to read, Steve. If there was voice acting, it wouldn't be in English anyway. It would all be Japanese. But yeah, I'm done with that. So, thoroughly enjoyed that.
But you finished it?
I've completed it. Yeah, it's.
Okay. How long is it?
It's not overly long. I think it took me like 11, 12 hours. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
It all wraps up fairly quickly. Not in a bad way, but it's like because I was surprised as well. Visual novels I'm used to being really long.
Yeah, it's all text, so it's like there's a lot of them.
Right game. 5 cases.
20 hours for a Phoenix Wright game, at least.
Yeah, 20 hours tops, I would say, until you get into the later ones.
They can get longer though, yeah. But yeah, I'm done with that. So, we could go straight from that into some news if you like. There's a few news stories this week we can go through. Finish it here. No, we've got we'll start off with one that's quite easy to do. There was obviously April Fool's roundup.
Oh god.
I
got hit by one April Fool's and I was so unhappy.
Is that my one?
No, it was I went to go and read some manga on April Fool's. And like I'd already read 3 different manga that day, so I just wasn't ready to be utterly trolled by manga panels.
Wait, so what happened?
The website just released a fake chapter.
Oh, that's mean. That's so mean. Yeah, I thought in terms of gaming stuff, apart from one, it was kind of a weak year for April Fools this year. I don't know if there's any that you guys that stand out.
Nothing really like bubbled up that I actually ended up seeing.
We'll come back to the one on the screen because that's the bigger one. Yeah, you've got there's a few other ones. Again, most of these are kind of mid. Like Dolphin Emulator getting Steam achievements. That's fun. Lechonk.
No. That one's real. That's actually coming to Steam, I believe.
Oh, they're actually doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, have you heard about Dolphin Emulator on Steam?
I have, yeah. It's apparently, it's Dolphin Emulator is GameCube and Wii U emulator, and apparently it's coming to Steam.
Yeah, I've seen this, and I've been on the Steam page. I haven't got a link for it here, but it's really odd because Dolphin Emulator is GameCube, Wii, and I think Wii U. I'm not sure. But for the Steam page, they had to remove everything Nintendo based. So they mentioned about how like you can use it to run cube games. Like you can't say GameCube, you can't say Wii, you can't say Nintendo. It's really weird dancing around lots of words on the Steam page.
I'm reading the blurb where it says Dolphin is an emulator for the big N's 6th and 7th generation.
What? Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really weird. Okay, yeah, but you had that for you had Lechonk, Pokemon Takeover. Yeah. Shovel. It was just Shovel Knight stuff. Googly Eyes is an old one, I think, for Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch. Every game has their I feel like games have stopped trying. They're like, look, we're doing a Googly Eye mode. Oh, look, we've got Earth mode for League of Legends and Super Adventure Box for Guild Wars 2. And it's like they just roll up their staple. They don't even try anymore.
Yeah, there was a fake image that was made.
felt so strongly about April Fool's jokes.
Oh, it's because I remember for the one that always got me was in Guild Wars 1 year for April Fools, you logged on and characters' genders were swapped. And I know that probably wouldn't fly in this day and age with PC culture, but it was just like so stupid and funny to log on and be like, oh, why is my character? Is it a bug? And then you click on the customer support thing, like if it's about your character but being swapped, it's April Fools. You're a fool.
You are a fool.
You are a fool.
Yeah, Power Wash Survivors here. That was one.
Yeah. They used to do so good. Oh, what there was. I feel like there's one that triggered in my head and I can't remember.
Well, the main one, which we scroll past, we'll come back to, is obviously the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Does anyone know anything here about this before I sort of go into it?
Nope. No.
I just know that Sonic is dead. Rest in peace.
Okay, so for April Fools, Sega released a real game to Steam for free called The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It came out, it shot straight to #1 on Steam. Bunch of people played it. And the premise behind the whole April Fools is the fact that, like, yeah, we've heard feedback from fans. We've done what you've asked. We have killed Sonic the Hedgehog. We've just killed him. Yeah, so they brought this
all
out.
All good so far.
Yeah. I have played this, and I have finished this.
I've got it downloaded. I haven't played it. But yeah, it's free on Steam, right? And
yeah.
It's a visual novel.
So the Steam page is here. I played this, I think a few days ago. It's really short. It's like, I think it took me maybe like 80 minutes to finish.
Oh, okay.
Like just over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually a game. Like to the point where I would say you should probably check this out. It's kind of fun. It's just another visual novel again, really simple visual novel. But the premise is all of the cast, like the main cast of Sonic, go on a train for Amy's birthday to do like what are they called? Not like escape room, but like a fake murder mystery.
Like a murder mystery dinner, yeah.
They go there for like a murder mystery party for Amy's birthday, and Sonic is the one that is killed. And everyone's like, "Oh, Sonic's dead. Oh, he's been the one that's been picked," but like he's actually dead. He's actually been murdered. And you play as Tails and some like OC character going around doing
Barry.
yeah, you can name your character. That's why it's Barry there. But you do like interviews and you find out where they were at the time of the murder. And it's, again, bringing it back to Phoenix Wright, it's almost like a really light Phoenix Wright game where you investigate these areas and then interrogate the person and press what they're saying with evidence that you have on you to try and get like a conclusion. And every time, you can see here in this picture here, every time you like push them, basically like they say, "Oh, I wasn't here," and you're like, "Well, I've got proof you were here." For some reason, you have to do this weird mini game, which is fine. It's a fun little mini game. It's like almost like a not an endless runner because it ends, but like a runner where you have to dodge obstacles and do that kind of stuff. And I was pleasantly surprised by this when I came away from it. I feel like it's because it's like an April Fool's game. It's really self-aware, which is kind of fun. There's like certain bits. There's a bit towards the end where you get the like microphone for all the carriages, and you click it, and there's a few options, and one of them is just start beatboxing, and then your character starts beatboxing, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then they all start like staring at the camera, and I'm like, "That's actually really funny." I got like a really big chuckle out of me. It's just like.
Are there like, because I'm seeing like the chows on the screen right now, are they like very like extremely self-aware? Like, are they being like, "No chow garden for you," because that's a big want by Sonic fans?
It's not that self-aware. It's not overly self-aware, but it's clearly like very. I mean, the premise is that Sonic is dead, right? Like, it's already like, someone's fucking murdered Sonic, and I think Sonic's like death pose is the meme. Family Guy pose where Peter Griffin's like dead. It's like...
Oh yeah.
There's like lots of shit like that. This is the screenshot that's been going around loads because it's like Amy happy that like Sonic's been murdered. Yeah, it's just like if you got like an hour free and you're just like I don't know what to do, just maybe have a look at this. It's kind of fun. I had a great time with this. I thought it was really good. Yeah, so I thought April Fools was kind of lame, but I guess this is a good one because this game came out.
This will be the standout this year for sure.
A good game, yeah,
for sure. Yeah. This feels like the only standout in a whole bunch of kind of nothing April Fools. So yeah, presently surprised with this one. That was like I think it wasn't supposed to be the main story of the week until I played it, and I was like, oh, I need to actually talk about this fucking meme Sonic game now. I need to tell someone about it. I mentioned earlier the bit like what was going to be the biggest of the week, which we just missed last week, is about E3 being dead. Yeah, so when we were dancing around it last time, it was about how everyone was pulling out, and it was kind of obvious that it was not going to go through. And
it's still sad to actually see the headline, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's really sad. I have so many good memories tied to E3.
Yeah,
and it's just it's so sad. And I think yeah, when the news hit, it was like, oh shit, that's it. No,
where were you when E3 2023 was cancelled?
I went and cried into my pillow for an hour. But yes, E3 is no more. It was since first COVID lockdown, they tried to move it sort of online, but then everyone just did their own thing anyway.
Yeah.
And no one really.
Yeah, I get like we're still going to get a bunch of stuff around that time, aren't we? Like Jeff Keighley's already announced he's doing something. The Microsoft thing will still be ongoing whenever that happens. Yeah. So it's like we'll still get, but it was so nice to. I'll miss arguing about who won E3.
That was always a topic, wasn't it? Who won E3? Yeah. Oh, Xbox get beaten up, or PlayStation really dropped the ball this year. And
yeah.
There's so many like good memes and like other things that have come out of E3 over the years and stuff. So it's just really sad. And I think I don't know. I feel like E3 was. I know it's towards the end. It was maybe not on its best legs anymore, but. It was always kind of nice that there was this thing that lots of people went to and got excited to every year. People would, almost make like pilgrimages to the E3 and stuff to play all the new stuff and check out all the new stuff, and that's just not there anymore.
I think though it's like all the companies, because I think Nintendo were the first one to be like, we're not going to E3, we're doing the Nintendo Direct. And then every other company saw like, oh, we maybe want to do that. And then Jeff Keighley was like, hey, you may not be part of E3, but you could be part of Summer Games Fest. And so now that's kind of taken over.
I think it's almost like, I'm not going to call Jeff Keighley like a mastermind or whatever, but it feels like
he is the villain of the.
It feels like he almost saw the direction all these things were going in, and then put his foot on the gas to be the first person to make a collaborative online only thing.
Yeah.
Like E3 should be doing what Jeff Keighley is doing, basically, where it's like, okay, yeah, no more physical E3, RIP, but we're still going to have it, and everyone's still going to come to online
exactly,
E3.
Yeah. I still feel like, it's a big enough brand that they easily could have spun it off into some online thing once we knew like COVID was going to be a big deal. But instead they just kept trying to have their big conference center, and it's just obviously that wasn't going to work anymore.
I think my biggest regret in hindsight is never going to an E3.
Well, they only opened to the public, like near the very end. I think it was like the last two or three or something.
Well,
that were actually open to the public.
It was press only for ages, wasn't it?
And even then, like, I feel like if you went, you'd still just be disappointed. Like, oh, can I try this game? And it's like, no, press only. Can I try this game? No, press only. Well, I feel like it wouldn't be that great to the public.
But all the conferences were always press only. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You can never just rock up to one of those events. But I guess you still have like PAX and other events like that are still running for like in-person stuff.
Yeah.
So, and they're just getting, I suppose, bigger and bigger as time passes. So I know it's just sad. Like I don't even know what to say. It's just sad. It feels like such a big part of gaming is just gone.
I don't see. I disagree. I feel like it's like, oh, it was kind of irrelevant. Like every company's just doing their own conferences now. Whenever it's like, E3 would come along and it'd be like, okay, I guess companies are saving their announcements for them. But now people were like, for years, it felt like people were spreading, moving their conferences to not overline. Because I mean, it will make me sad that we are missing like the rivalry between like, oh, who had the better conference, PlayStation or Xbox? And that one year where like Xbox were like, we're not having discs anymore or something, and then or like there was no trading of discs, and then PlayStation like very quickly were like, how do you exchange game with your friends? And they just literally handed the disc over.
I was like, I won't argue about its relevancy because I think you're right. But I do still think it's just sad to see something that has been so ingrained in gaming culture for literally decades.
I guess I feel like PAX kind of takes its place. Like PAX is still there, but it's also just a convention.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of what takes its place, E3 is dead. E3 is no more. I know it's not. I know the news story isn't E3 is dead, but like I feel like. Yeah, this being cancelled is basically that's kind of it.
I mean, I personally I'm like, oh, okay, didn't really care before. Like I enjoyed the announcements, but we get announcements all year, all the time, so it doesn't really needs me too much.
Yearly watch parties and
I guess but then we've got Summer Games Fest, which is also kind of replacing it, which is like a big like week or two.
It's not the same though. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Sound like fucking boomers.
having like Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, and then also EA, Ubisoft, all like coming to us and being like, pay attention to me.
Yes.
Like, no, look what I have to announce. And it was like over those like 3 or 4 days, just so many shows and announcements and trailers and shit like that. It was awesome.
Well, you would have
so good.
You would have days where it would be like, okay, this Wednesday, local time for England, 11 a.m. Microsoft, 1 p.m. Sony, 3 p.m. Square, and it's just like bam, bam. You just sit down and just watch games fed to you over like 2 or 3 days.
It was like 50% of them weren't ever going to come out, but they might. And it was awesome.
And there was always just like there was always just an energy in the gaming internet around these events where it was just like, oh my god, blah blah has been announced, or X has finally been announced, or new trailer for this, that, and the other, and it's always oh my god, and it was like everything was so mad because you'd get like 10 amazing trailers that would set the internet on fire on their own on any other day, all within a couple of hours. So.
But then I see. I kind of like that it's spread out, so you got time for things to breathe. Because oftentimes there'll be something like very good announced, and it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm kind of excited about that, and then it just gets forgotten about because this big thing got announced,
Well, it's like there are pros and
digest a bit more.
There are pros and cons to either, right? I think there is a good thing about what you're saying, which is like you're having it spread out. That is good because obviously you can spread out your hype. But there is also something to be said about the one massive mega hit that you get from like an E3 week.
Yeah. Which that was like saving all your loot boxes and opening them all at once.
Opening. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's like, okay, I have this stash of 100 loot boxes, and I'm guaranteed to get like 15 legendaries out of them. And let's go open.
Yeah, I mean, we still got Summer Games Fest is June, right? I believe.
Whenever summer is, I guess. Yeah, around that time.
Yeah, I believe it is June 8th.
Yeah, the date just came out, I think. Well, I think it's.
Yeah, it came out March 30th, the date. So,
yeah, as soon as E3 died, Jeff Keighley was like, oh, by the way, Summer Games.
So, yeah.
Almost like he planned it, like he killed it.
He killed E3,
He's like bloody knife hidden behind his back. Like, Summer Games Fest. Where we will see if they will get crucified for not announcing Bloodborne HD.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the new Elden Ring as Bloodborne HD.
No, Silk Song.
Oh, Silk Song. Yeah. It's still Silk Song.
Or is it Elden Ring DLC now? Because there's now Elden Ring DLC
as well. It's 100% Silk Song. You go into any event that's like Microsoft or indie based or anything, the chat is like Silk Song. I
feel like last year it became Bloodborne HD.
No, that's just the corner of the internet we hang out in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen general internet users.
Yeah, but people joke about that, knowing it will probably never happen.
Yeah,
Silk Song is coming. We just don't know anything.
We
about
definitely
it
need to do like a bingo card for Summer Games Fest. I feel like.
Oh, yeah, we'll do like a proper bingo card. Yeah, I'll be up for that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from this, then next news story. This is about Ark, which is Vin Diesel's new game, Ark 2. It's still so fucking weird that he's in this game. Anyway, I can't focus on this because I'll get so sidetracked. Ark 2 has been delayed, and they've also said there's no gameplay coming this year at all. Just like forget about Ark 2. It's gone for the time being. What they've said instead is they are remaking the original Ark game, which was...
Why?
What was its full name? It was Ark Survival something.
Survival Evolved, right? It says on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's Ark Survival Evolved. And it's getting a remake and a new name. The big controversy about this new story is they're shutting down servers for the original Ark game, which is kind of shitty. Yeah. You can still play online. They're saying how you're going to be able to back up your servers and stuff, and you'll be able to run, private servers and stuff like that. But the actual dedicated online servers they're running are just going, which is kind of shitty considering they're also, they're remastering it and then charging like 50 quid for this remaster and being like, yeah, if you want to play online, you buy that.
See, that's weird. Cause I
don't know if it is. I have a very weird viewpoint on this.
Yeah.
In the sense that Ark has been out for fucking ages now.
Yeah.
And it's like games don't normally have that lifespan.
It's okay. It feels kind of odd. Whereas I feel like any other company this wouldn't be normal practice, right? It seems like a good way to just rile people up.
Yeah, I'm confused. Okay, so they're shutting down the original game servers, and is Ark? I feel like we've got to call it Ark 1, Ark Remastered, and 2.
Yes.
So is Ark Remastered not being like a free upgrade for those who already own Ark?
No, you have to buy it. It's a whole brand new game.
Okay,
and you have to buy the DLC too separately.
And so the Ark servers are going down for Ark 1 and Ark Remastered, or Ark 1?
Yeah, Ark 1 servers are going down. If you want to play on official dedicated servers, you have to buy the remaster.
They are taking away Ark 1 and saying, if you want to keep playing the Ark that you have to give us money to play Ark Remastered.
I'm so confused, because why would you not just keep Ark 1 up and be like, here's a free upgrade to Ark Remastered, and then shut down the servers when Ark 2 comes out? Like,
why give a free upgrade though to a game that's been out like 10 years?
Skyrim got that, didn't it? I believe if you had Skyrim original, you got Skyrim HD for free.
I don't think anyone cares about there being a remaster. It's shutting down the original and forcing you to buy the new one if you want to keep playing the Ark that you've always been playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's weird. Why would they do it that way when there's like multiple other ways?
It's also because I haven't said it yet, but it's like there's also it's like a bundle where if you buy Ark 2, you also get this new remaster, or vice versa. You buy the remaster, you get Ark 2 whenever that comes out. And I think that's the one that costs like 50 quid. It's not been handled very well. I think that's the biggest issue with this whole thing, is it's kind of been worded and handled kind of a bit weird, because the story that goes out to people, which is what people hear, is just, yeah, Ark's being remastered, and if you don't buy it, you can't play online, even if you got the original. And even if that's not like entirely true, that's what people hear. That's what becomes headlines, because that's what gets in rage bait on all these articles.
Do you know what this is? This is Overwatch 2 again. It's confusing.
Just confusing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I feel like they should have delayed Ark 2. Because obviously Ark 2 is going to get delayed anyway. If they haven't got time to make it, it's got to get delayed. Delay Ark 2 and then do this whole weird remaster thing as a separate announcement, like a few months down the line or something. It just feels like it all just gets balled together and it's all a bit confusing. Because even as we talk about it now, I've read articles and I've done research on this, and it's still like Ark 1. But the remaster comes with 2, but then the servers are going down for the original, but you can still play the original, you just can't play on dedicated servers, you have to play on private servers, unless you port your save to the remaster, then you can use. It's all, it's all weird. It's all a bit weird.
I don't know, these guys always just seem like kind of scumbag developers. I don't know, it's always these guys, like, they released DLC for their early access game, right? That was like kind of a dick move. They released that other game that turned out to just be a like bit of DLC that they just made into a whole new game and charged people full price for it, right? What was that? The pirate one?
Oh, yeah.
You guys probably know.
Don't forget,
and people, you could just open the Ark menu because they just never turned that off.
I remember that. Yeah. Atlas? Was it called Atlas?
Yeah, Atlas. Yeah.
You also had just to add on to the shit pile of stuff that you're naming, Ark Survival Evolved on consoles, specifically the Switch, were basically completely unplayable.
Yeah.
There's a really good Digital Foundry video you can watch about Ark 1 on the Switch. And
it's hilarious.
It's both really technical, but also hilarious, because that game is so awful looking on Switch.
It runs at like 240p.
It's
something. Like if you watch a YouTube video and put the quality on the worst setting you can, it still looks better than Ark on Switch.
It's like the game on all low graphics settings on 240p, also running at like 15 FPS, and they were charging like full price for it. It's like, oh my god, have some like self-respect for your game. Ridiculous. But yeah, I'll go in circles with this a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of weird news. Ark 2, I'm sure will be decent when it comes out. I still want to see how they tied Vin Diesel into an open world crafting survival game. Seems a bit odd.
Is he in the game or is he just in the movie?
I don't think there's enough information out at this point.
I don't think they know. Yeah,
it's just like here's the first and only trailer for Ark 2. We've got Vin Diesel in it. We don't know how we're going to utilize him yet.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the game to come out and he's just like a legendary skin in the shop, and he's in no way tied to anything like story wise.
Yeah.
He's like a pre-order bonus, pre-order Ark 2, and you can play as Vin Diesel. Ark 2. That's that one there. Last main story for the week. This is more of like a little information update. We mentioned this a while ago. Marvels Avengers. That's the live service game that came out by Square Enix. Has just had patch 2.8, which, not very big news, but this is the news, or this is the patch, sorry, that makes all paid cosmetics free. So,
okay.
Yeah, originally a live service game, obviously.
What about characters, though, in DLC?
I'm pretty sure everything that is available is now free. The only thing that I think...
Spider-Man on PC?
I was going to say, I don't think Spider-Man's in PC. I don't think that was ever done. But everything else is just like, it's here. You know? If you have any interest in this game, now is the best time to play it. Because I think it was official support stops in September. Like, September is when they're going completely hands-off. Like, anything breaks beyond this point, fuck it. Like, we are done with this product. But this was the point where it all becomes free. I think I might check this out at some point. This is on Game Pass.
It's not worth it.
No? Oh, you played it?
I've played it, yeah. I've played it. It's just not very good.
We talked about it on the podcast a while ago.
How long ago was that?
Months.
It was right when it got added to Game Pass. I played it.
Oh, I have to go back and watch that. I completely forgot you played this.
Well, I mean, it's a very forgettable game, to be honest. I almost forgot I played it.
Games like this, where it's like they're dead, but they give you all the DLC for free and all the cosmetics and stuff. I'm like, it's always just a bit like sad because it's like, oh, even if you like the game and the cosmetics, it's like it's dying soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it goes out with a bang this way, though. I quite like that.
Yeah, I think if it's going to die,
not that I'm going to play it, but this, for somebody.
Well, this is the best way to do it, right? Because there are there's so many other scenarios where they just go, yeah, game is dead. See you later, and they just leave the store
Shut the
up,
servers down.
Or like you say,
they could make it so you can't play it anymore. Ark.
Yeah, or they could have just said official support. Official support stops in September, but the store will stay up and we will continue to take microtransactions for cosmetics.
Your money. Yeah, yeah.
That is totally a thing they could have done. I think this is the better way it could have gone. So yeah, that's now a thing. We just got Matt just mentioned in chat. I completely forgot about this. There was also, I'll find a link for it. I'll find a random news site. Do you guys hear about they're doing a brand new Street Fighter live action movie?
Who's playing Chun-Li?
I think it was like just announced. Hang on, let me see if I can find anything. This is kind of like jank. It's not even prepared.
There's been a lot of movie news recently, actually.
There's an old movie, isn't there?
Mario.
Yeah, Mario. I'm seeing Mario next week. So I'll talk about that next week.
I'm sad. I want to see it.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with Laura. We're just going to go see it after work one day. She's not massively into it, but I kind of really want to see it. But yeah, I saw something briefly about this earlier. It's Legendary have acquired film and TV rights to Street Fighter.
Did they do the Mortal Kombat?
Oh, what, the new movie?
The new,
Wasn't Legendary World of Warcraft as well?
I have no clue.
Ooh.
I don't remember.
Mortal Kombat 2021.
I remember the Legendary icon. That shit is in my head.
I've forever linked Legendary with 300.
Yeah, Legendary World of Warcraft.
Just trying to find anything for the Mortal Kombat movie.
I'm just curious if they're cornering the market in adaptations of
fighting
game franchises.
That's so specific.
yeah. I was just wondering because, like, what else could what are they going after next? What's the other big one? Tekken.
Oh, fuck.
And then
Guilty Gear movie.
Soul Calibur.
Melty Blood.
Melty Blood. Yeah, fucking Skullgirls movie.
Skullgirls. They could do a great Skullgirls movie.
Oh, they did Detective Pikachu as well.
I want really obscure fighting games into movies, like the most the ones that no one plays anymore. I was about to say Marvel vs. Capcom, but that's basically just Avengers.
What's the one? Them's Fighting Herds.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Live action, live action brony fighting movie. What was that one you linked last week, Steve? The kind of like Killer Instinct ripoff.
Oh shit! What was that?
The one
forgotten. No one played it. Yeah, you were supposed to stream that, Josh.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
I can't remember what it was called now.
A dive kick movie.
Oh my god! Yeah, you go into cinema and watch it, and the whole movie is like 47 seconds long. Just a guy
They do a For Honor movie, and then you just hear Josh in the background being like, "It's a fighting game, I swear."
Oh hell yeah! You joke, but a For Honor movie would be fucking sick.
Would be.
Isn't that just like Game of Thrones or something? Isn't that For Honor the movie basically?
It would be about like 4 random people from around the world traveling to meet each other to kill each other in one-on-one combat or something. I don't know.
It would star Eve.
Yeah,
I'm here to kill you.
He has a cameo just in the background. Please stop fighting, and he gets killed.
Oh, he's going to become the Marvel Stan Lee of Ubisoft.
Of Ubisoft movies. Nice, we got our Eve reference in for the week.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Movie
really missed it.
Movie ends with just Eve will return in For Honor 2. But yeah, it's good to see. Well, I don't know if it's good news. The movie might be shit, but it's good to see Street Fighter in really good spirits these days. Because I feel like there's a lot of hype around Street Fighter 6. I feel like when a new trailer drops or there's like a new thing with Street Fighter, and I read comments from people, there's lots of comments like, "Oh, I don't normally play Street Fighter, but this looks really cool" and stuff like that. And I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Because I love the series so much.
This is my skeptical take, but I feel like because Smash is kind of like over for now, and like it's not in Evo anymore and stuff, I feel like it's giving room for other fighting games to kind of like shine a little bit.
That's such
that's a take.
That's such a poor take, but I'll let it slide.
Probably.
Smash has not been a dominant fighter in a very long
but
time.
Like in normality, like we were always excited for like what's the next Smash character going to be, and now that it's like you don't have that on the internet anymore, it's kind of like, oh, what's Street Fighter doing over there? Like, they're showing off
Smash transcended the fighting game genre.
True.
Like there's fighting games that sell X amount of copies. Then there's Smash Bros just at the front, casually selling like 20
maybe this
million
is just
copies
for
or
me
something.
Personally. Yeah. I think it's just for me. Like I'm like, oh, Smash is like, there's no Smash announcements. Like, what are these other fighting games doing? Like,
especially because it's not even a real fighting game, is it?
Yeah. True.
It's my favorite platformer. The question from last week.
Oh no.
Oh, did you see the Riot fighting game? They've announced that's basically free to play now as well.
I mean,
we always going to.
Yeah, we always can. Well, that's the Riot way of doing things, I guess. I still stand by like I want Riot to come out and have an amazing fighting game that is free to play, and maybe not like it doesn't make Street Fighter and everything else going forward free to play, but it makes them all seriously reconsider what they're doing, which is £70 releases.
They're all still full price copies. It's mad to me.
Full price games with in-game shops and DLC season passes.
Yeah,
In a series that on paper should be free to play.
A free to play game. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like I feel like fighting games have gotten away with this for far too long.
They have, because it almost feels like a secret pact internally, where the Tekken people are talking to Street Fighter people, are talking to Mortal Kombat people, and they're like, look, we've got
a really good thing going here. Yeah, let no one say anything. Yeah. It's like they're all agreeing not to call each other out on how bullshit it is, that every fighting game is full price and everything cosmetic is paid for and as character passes. Oh my god, yeah.
You know that if all those devs of those fighting games were in a room with the director of the Riot fighting game, they would like shun him. They'd be like, no.
They're plotting his like assassination already. They're all
you fucking ruined it. How could you betray us like this?
Yeah. I do think, I'm really hoping like Riot comes out, makes a really good fighting game, and it just like changes the entire genre landscape like overnight,
Yeah.
Like Riot game comes out, it's really good. Street Fighter's like, we're free to play now. And then every other game is like followed suit. Yeah.
I love fighting games, and I'm gonna get Street Fighter 6, and I'm gonna buy it.
I might get Street Fighter 6. It looks
honestly, I think I am, because I feel like I wouldn't usually, but I'm like, Josh can kind of teach me a little bit how to play.
I would hope there's some sort of open beta before launch.
Yeah.
Because it's rapidly approaching, right? It's like early June.
It's in June-pocalypse where every game is coming out.
I'm fully expecting somewhat soon some sort of talks starting about open betas and stuff. I somehow dodged every single closed beta, despite threatening to firebomb Capcom headquarters if I didn't get in. But
I can't believe they didn't go for that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But I would expect something, and that'd be a good chance for anyone to like hop in and see, what it's about. Probably not I don't know. It's tricky, because hopping into a fighting game for the first time, your first experiences are always normally shit because you're not very good.
But especially if it's like in an open beta or launch, that's most likely when you're going to get other new players in.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah. Well, the best thing about hopefully Street Fighter 6 being really good and really popular is that gives you a larger player pool, and a larger player pool will give you more accurate MMR, because there's just literally more people on this scale that can higher chance to be around your level. So, oh god, I'm so excited for this game. I'm so excited. I nearly booted up Strive again, Guilty Gear Strive, but I decided not to in the end, just because I watched some videos and that game looks crazy, and it scared me. So I thought I'd just wait for Street Fighter 6.
I was gonna say, it's bad, but like Guilty Gear has like such a good art style for me. I'm like, that is like, if that was a good game, I would be like, hell yeah, give me that.
It is a good game. It's a very good game.
It is a good game, Steve.
Well, no, it's a good game, but it's a complicated game, right?
It's
what all fighters will be.
Yeah.
At the end of time.
Yeah.
The simplest.
The right one.
No, the right game will also be really complicated.
Yeah, literally every time one of these gets announced or there's a trailer or something, you go to the comments on it and people are like, is Street Fighter 7, is Tekken 9, is it a good one? And everyone's like, yeah, this is the one to jump in on because it's got a brand new training mode, it makes things super simple, and they're all lying to you. They are all lying to you.
Well, the thing is that
there's only one way to get into fighting games, and it's to go get your ass handed to you over and over again.
Unfortunately,
Take your face, find the nearest wall, smash your head against it.
Yeah.
What I will say is,
eventually,
the comments are always like, it's never been better to get into fighting games, which is usually true, because you do tend to find with every sequential game that comes out, training modes and tutorials and things do get better. But unfortunately, like everyone here is saying, at some point you have to jump into the ring and you have to get your ass beaten. And a lot of people don't like that, which is absolutely fine. You know, same reason people don't like competitive 1v1 RTS games. You know, when it's you versus another physical human being in the world, and you lose, it is your fault. You have lost. That person has beaten you, and that doesn't feel good.
No, I love that. I love 1v1 ranked games because I'm like, it's all on me. If I go down to like Bronze League, I climb back up. It's multiplayer games where I get ranked anxiety, and I never play multiplayer ranked.
There you go then. Why are you not playing fighting games?
Because I'll play 6. I'll play 6.
Yeah, it's that compounded with a lot.
Driver's on Game Pass right now.
Yeah,
you can go play it.
Strive is a good little entry point. If you want to just dabble, you could just jump into Strive.
He's lying to you.
Straight up.
I'm lying. I am lying.
Straight up have the copium. I will not play fighting games. Not
You'll
because
play the right
they're not
one.
good. No, I won't. Because I know that fighting games just aren't for me.
Yeah, I respect anyone that can.
I don't have what it takes to get into those types of games and actually enjoy it.
We need better social fighting games. That's what we need. We need more For Honors and stuff where it's like we can be a team and go in together. Because it's like it's like if I want to play a multiplayer game, I want to play something where I can get you guys in and we can hang out and shoot the shit. And it's like
there was a fighting game that was multiplayer, free to play, online, had a cast of like licensed.
Oh god, I just don't care about fucking multiverses. I want For Honor but good, Steve.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, again, For Honor was actually probably
my favorite fighting game.
Yep,
but it's still almost too complicated, right? It's still got that fighting game thing.
Well, it's because
it was so
just
it controlling kind of like an action RPG. I was like so much more ready to get into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, For Honor is always...
It's like fighting game skills just don't translate to other video games. The same as like RTS. Well, I guess RTS and MOBA, there's some like mechanical crossover, you know what I mean? But it's like fighting games, you sit down and it's like push up on the stick to jump, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. No.
Where's the jump button?
No, where's the jump button? That's not right.
You should play on. You can buy something called a hitbox. You ever heard of that? That's
you can buy a hitbox.
Not legal at the moment.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Didn't think we were talking about this today, but yeah, you can buy. Hang on, hitbox controller.
What?
You ever heard?
What is it?
Let me see if I can find a picture. There we go.
It's just a
stick. At that. No, there is no stick. That's the thing.
What?
You have.
Why is it so big?
Why is there no stick?
You have all the white buttons there. That's your normal buttons you have on an arcade stick. But all movement and jumping are handled by the red buttons.
Oh, that seems a bit more easier for me. I want that.
Yeah, if you want to get into this, I'm gonna give you a little hack here, Steve. You can basically do this with a keyboard.
You can do this.
People are like, oh, should I get into fighting games and buy a hitbox? It's like just play on PC and use your keyboard. And if you really like it,
£250,
yeah,
accessory.
But yeah, so I kind of
so much room for stickers on it.
I don't even know how we got here. Jesus, where am I? Yeah, fighting games. Street Fighter 6 is gonna get a movie. Nice. Okay.
To be fair, the one thing I always enjoyed about Street Fighter was their story mode.
Yeah.
Just because
I like the characters.
That was always the characters are great, which meant the story mode was always just a really good watch.
Yeah.
Actually, although there was just a question about who would you cast, I think the bigger question is which character is Chris Pratt going to play in this movie?
All of them.
Jury.
Yes.
Chris Pratt punches you and you fall over and he sits on you and he's got his feet all out and he's got a lollipop and he's like, oh, this is fun. It's like, oh god, why? Chris Pratt, why? I think what makes a Street Fighter sort of cast so interesting is the fact that, because it was always about world warriors, right? Mm-hmm. So you always had, it was like all these different characters from countries,
very diverse,
all over the world, and it's very diverse. You get all different types all together, and you kind of forget that because these characters are so, what's the word, like legacy now. You know, like Ryu, Ken, whatever. They've all been around for literally decades. But it's like, it's like these are all characters from different countries, and they all have their own quirks and stuff. Oh, I love it. Okay, I think we're kind of done here. Is there any upcoming stuff, Steve?
There is some stuff. Okay, so today we have, which is the 6th of April, we have the Steam release of Stranger of Paradise, a Final Fantasy story.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier.
Great game, by the way.
Yeah, it just came out like an hour or two ago, I believe.
Chaos.
But yeah, Josh has played this. I think he recommends it.
Yeah, I love this game.
This is a Dark Souls meets Final Fantasy, basically, right?
It's Neo meets Final Fantasy, which might not seem very different, but that does mean something different.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
Also out today on the 6th is the full release of Liberté.
Liberté.
It's got the weird E, and I don't know how to say it.
How do you spell it?
Liberte.
On Steam, yeah?
On Steam, yes. This is a deck builder roguelike. Or roguelite.
What the fuck is this called?
It doesn't look like a deck builder roguelike.
It looks like Diablo.
What it's typed. Yeah, it looks like Diablo. Apparently it's been in early access for a while, but now it's got the full release today.
It looks alright.
Deck builder roguelike looks like Diablo. Okay.
I feel like that's a combination of words that hooks several of us here.
Yeah.
Inspired by the French Revolution and body horror.
Hotly used to find tags for this product. Hack and slash.
What is this?
What is this?
I'm not sure. I saw I had someone on my. I checked the because I've got a bunch of people on my friends list, so I see if anyone's wish listed it. And I saw a couple had, so I was like, maybe this is something to keep an eye on.
How odd.
Also out today, we have a game called Supplice, which is SUPP lice.
PP.
PP.
This is a boomer shooter.
Ask for Will then.
I don't just play.
I knew that would get you. I knew that would get you.
Nibble.
This one is apparently inspired by the Doom modding community. So
all three of them,
as opposed to being inspired by Doom, like every other boomer shooter.
I don't know.
It's the Doom modding community. It's completely different, you guys.
Yeah.
And then also out today on the 6th, we have a game called Raven's Watch, which is a roguelike action game. Another one.
And what do Ravens watch, Steve?
Netflix?
Yeah.
No, Disney Plus.
Okay.
Because that's where Raven is. You know?
I get it.
You lost me there.
That's so Raven. This looks like what's the?
Oh, it's Curse of the Dead Gods, people.
Yeah.
That was a very good game.
What's the game with the 4 people where it gets darker and
Don't Starve?
No.
Dark and Darker.
No, not Dark and Dark. Oh, someone will know. It's early access. The second one comes out in like a month. It's been early access for ages.
Dark Souls.
It's got the man that goes, you go into the darkness. Oh my god.
Tribes of Midgard.
Why can I not remember this fucking game? Anyway, move on.
Okay, on the 7th, we have Song of the Prairie, which is an early access Harvest Moon clone.
How the hell do you spell prairie?
Praire.
Why are you making me spell stuff?
I'm not making Sam spell.
Preery.
Yeah, it's got an I.
Yeah.
Never mind.
This just looks like a Harvest Moon on PC game, but it looked like it quite endearing and charming.
Yeah, it looks right.
It looks like every other Harvest Moon clone.
Yeah.
So you will like this game.
Yeah.
That Genshin Impact art. What is that? That looks kind of Genshin-y, right? I'm not going crazy. You see that?
Yeah, I get it, but I feel like there's Genshin Impact.
Generic anime 2D.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
For some reason, it reminds me of Genshin.
I just saw Genshin up because I checked when Star Rail is out, and that's not out till the 28th or something, but yeah.
This is my face when Steve lists upcoming games.
Shut up. Okay, next game is out on the 10th. It is called Miniland Adventure. Miniland is all one word.
We've got a couple of city builders coming up, actually.
Yeah, this is a 2D open world survival crafting game that looks like it's,
Oh, we're really in the dregs here.
Yes, kind of. It's a slow week, so I found a bunch of indie games.
This is yeah.
Okay, we've got two big ones. Well, two semi-big ones.
That food icon is stolen from Minecraft.
Is it?
It is the exact icon, yes. True. That heart icon is stolen from Zelda.
Yeah. Thanks, Minecraft, for inventing drumsticks.
Yeah.
They got it on the Unity assets.
Look, I have to. That's okay. That's really good. I have to entertain myself somehow. Okay.
Okay. On the 12th, we have Pokemon Stadium for the Switch.
That's not new.
Yeah, but it's pretty big because it's got online capabilities.
What? Why?
Because it's on the Switch.
Who's asking for that? Pokemon Stadium
fans.
64 online?
Yep, it's going to have online. The bad thing is though, it won't be able to connect to the red, blue, yellow at all. So because the original Pokemon Stadium was pretty difficult to beat the game without transferring Pokemon over from red, blue, or yellow. So people are thinking that because this one's got online, you could do the mini games online, which is the interesting part, and then some of the battles online.
Is this a port or a remake?
This is a port. It's still being on their virtual console. But people are thinking that they might put red, blue, yellow on, and that they will be able to connect to this eventually, because the game is pretty unbeatable without transferring Pokemon.
So much work you're describing for a port of Pokemon Stadium 64. Like, Christ. Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm being mean, but am I going crazy?
No,
Pokemon fans, man.
Pokemon fans, yeah.
I guarantee, if you go on Google right now and Google play Pokemon Stadium 64 online, you'll find some janky website with a way to play this. Don't come kill me, Nintendo. But I bet you can.
And then one more game coming out on the 12th is Wild Frost. I'm actually excited for this one.
Yeah,
some of you might have played this, on Steam Next Fest, but it is a card game, very cute card game. It was very difficult on the first Next Fest, but apparently they've rebalanced the difficulty, and they have got a harder difficulty mode, but like the default is easier. But yeah, this I actually might play next week as well.
It's such nice art. I love this art.
It's Chucklefish who did the online for Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably play this, but maybe not for next week's podcast because it comes out on the 6th, which is podcast day.
Because we're recording this on Thursday, aren't we? So it's 6 days till next one.
But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this one. It's very cute, very. I hope this does as well because it's like it's just so endearing.
Oh, it's no price yet.
I think the issue is there are unfortunately now a lot of these games out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not new anymore.
Big, like Guild of Dungeoneering vibes, like
yeah.
It depends on the market. Yeah, it depends on the price point. If it's a good price point, it can be.
I hope it's cheap.
Because if it comes out and it's just a bit too expensive, it can be like, well, there are lots of other alternatives that are really good.
Yeah.
I think Monster Train just got released on, was it Switch, I think?
Yeah, Monster Train has been around for ages, but that's got loads of ways to play it. It's on like Steam, Game Pass, and like you say, now it's on like Switch and stuff. And that game is great. Not to mention as well, like Slay the Spire is also just everywhere.
Oh, Slay the Spire, yeah.
Just tons of stuff, yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's basically it for releases.
Oh, okay, so there's a few little bits coming up. But this seems like a genuine maybe look out for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like we're still just sort of waiting for.
I can give you another game to look out for, Josh.
Yeah.
What game?
Tron Identity.
Oh, I saw that in the releases, and it just looked like a visual novel, and I was like,
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Which is why I named it for Josh.
Sam, you know Steve can't read. You know Steve can't read.
True. I was like, Tron at the best of times does not interest me, and I was like, a Tron visual novel. I'm like,
I
don't know why. Tron just appeals to me so much.
I'm the opposite. I'm the exact
Mike Bithell.
It's who?
It's Mike Bithell. Thomas Was Alone volume.
Oh, I know Thomas Was Alone.
We've been to talks by him. I've been to a talk by him. He's a really fun guy.
Thomas Was Alone is a great game.
X game.
Oh yeah, where you had to like plan out stuff in advance and do takedowns and.
I guess he's doing licensed stuff now. This feels like a very strange time to release a Tron licensed game.
I mean, developed and published by him. So
BitHell Games.
This is out on the 11th, so Tuesday.
Oh, Thomas Was Alone is fucking awesome. Like that game is so old though.
Yeah,
I remember playing that back in college. 2012. Thomas Was
Alone.
It's a
cool game. Yeah.
I thought this game was
great. He makes cool games.
Like Programmer Art, the platformer.
yeah.
Okay, I think we're done here. Is that? That's all the games, right?
That's basically it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll wrap this up and we'll get out of here then. Thank you for listening, everybody. We're gonna do all our social bits and get out of here. My name is BottlerWorks, and I'm BottlerWorks on absolutely everything. If you want to come find me, how about you, Will?
Hello. You know where to find me.
And Steve.
Hi, I'm Quikwix. You can find me at BottlerWorks on Twitter.
And where can we find you, Bottler Sammeh?
I'm about.
Yes,
I try to be about.
See him in the street. Give him a hug. Don't say who you are. Just give him a hug.
No elbows. Bump elbows.
Oh yeah, really awkward.
Hugging's over.
I was gonna say, I was getting a train home the other day, and a guy got off the train, and I was just there like, "What is Will doing here?" Like, it was
look like me.
I double, triple looked and went, "That's Will." And then I got on the train and then watched your stream because you were still streaming, and I was like, "Oh Jesus!"
IRL stream. Watch Will get on a train.
I was doing an IRL stream. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to triple take when you see him, because it's not often you see a cartoony-looking man walking around with like black dot eyes.
I was gonna say he look his avatar. I realised looks like a Funko Pop the other day.
Yeah, I'd make a really good Funko Pop.
Yeah,
you would. Yeah,
coming soon.
Just in real life, I have a very square head.
Coming soon, budget Funko Pops from the Game FourCast. I'm making them myself, so please be kind. Don't be rude about the craftsmanship. Yeah, you can order those by directly PayPaling me. So look forward to those.
Do merch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put just your face on a big T-shirt, but it'll be like
body pillow.
All the wrong like resolution. You'll be really stretched across like a T-shirt, and we only offer it in 4XL. It's just a big ass Steve T-shirt.
Yes.
All right, we're done here. Let's get out of here. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.